I would like to dispel a very false belief that when someone you love dies, you move on without them. You move forward with them because we are all souls and they continue on across the veil, still part of your soul family, still interested in your life, still seeing what's going on in your life, still enjoying your life with you, still appreciating the challenges you go through. And I have evidence of this. It's why I can speak so confidently and tell you, I guarantee you, they move forward with you. Just yesterday, I had the thrill and the honor of giving evidence to a family that's near and dear to my heart that their son is indeed still with them after passing 4 years ago on that date yesterday. I'm talking about Jim and Gloria Spruell. If you've watched our documentary, Wolf's Message, you know that Jim Spruel is the director of this beautiful film. And at the end of the film, there's a dedication to Wolf, a young man, Mike Passacarnis Jr., who's across the veil, who the film is based upon, to my stepdaughter, Susan, whose life I honor through my work today, and to Jim and Gloria Spruell's son, Dakota. He was struck by a car and on life support for, I believe, 9 days until Jim and Gloria had to make the decision to take him off life support, a heart-wrenching decision, which they made, as I said, 4 years ago yesterday. We call that someone's angel date or angelversary. And I've come to love Jim and Gloria and their daughter Savannah and Dakota across the veil. I met Jim and Gloria when I brought Dakota through in a reading. If you go to wolfsmessage.com, you'll see a video at the bottom where I describe in an interview with Jim, and he also tells the story of how Dakota brought us together with a really good feat from across the veil. So I know that Dakota still exists, and Jim and Gloria and Savannah know it too from the evidence that Dakota brought through in that first reading and signs he's given his family personally, and more than anything, his presence that they continue to feel, not only in their hearts, but just in their very souls. But yesterday on the Angelversary, I was nudged to ask Jim and Gloria if they wanted to try to connect with him in a little mini reading. And of course, they said yes. So we got together, and as we sat, I said, this is going to be interesting. I have the goosebumps just talking about it. I said, it's going to be interesting because when I do a reading for someone for the first time and I don't know who they have across the veil, I haven't met them yet, the spirits know that they need to give me all kinds of information about their lives that I couldn't possibly know. We call that evidence. And that backs up then the messages they have, such as, I'm fine here now. Don't worry about me. I see you. That kind of message we can't validate, but the evidence that goes around it, such as how they passed, what kind of work they did, what their essence is like, comes through very clearly in an evidential reading. So I said to Jim and Gloria as we started, well, we already know what Dakota's like. He's proved his presence to you many times over the 2 years that we've known each other now. So I figure he's just going to have some messages for you on this special date. And I'm sure he'll give you evidence of some current events in your life to show you that he is still part of your life. And the whole point of this chat with all of you here today is showing you we move forward with our loved ones, still clearly part of our family and our presence. So the reading started. Well, what's funny is I have a little ritual. It usually takes about a minute to create a field to work in, to bring the people I'm sitting with into coherence with my state, so that we're all centered and open and raising lots of love, radiating lots of love outward. So as I was doing that practice with them, I started laughing right in the middle of this sacred ritual because Dakota was right here saying, "Can we just get on with this?" But I needed to do my ritual just for me, and I hear now from my guides, it's not a need, it's a very special, important practice to become coherent, all of us together. So once we finished that little brief practice, In comes Dakota, and he showed me a chewing motion, pointed away from me as if he was pointing to either Jim or Gloria, and then made this motion about clearing something out of the mouth, taking it out. We had just gotten started, so I was a little unclear about what he was getting at. But I said, this feels like he's talking about, Jim, you chew on stuff a lot and you got to get it out of your mouth. And Jim said, well, I often chew on mints. And I said, well, that could be it, but I don't know why you need to take it out of the mouth. And this is when Gloria said, I know what this is. And this is why I am okay with letting the people I'm sitting with give me feedback because it fuels me when I see and helps me understand what it was exactly that Dakota was talking about. Anybody who's seen any of my presentations where I talk about that initial reading with Jim and Gloria knows that during that reading 2 years ago, Gloria said, does Dakota know what happened to me when we were in Florida? And I tuned in, and I hope I get the details right because it was a while ago. But I said, he knows that you fell. There seems to be a fall, and you hurt yourself. And indeed, she had fallen and she broke some bones in her face. And they actually sent me the x-rays of that to show this broken bone in the face. And Dakota was able to say, hey, you got out of bed and your feet were asleep, and that's why you fell right away. She didn't know why she fell. Well, she doesn't remember her feet being asleep. She just remembers the fall. Well, what's interesting is this motion, what he was actually saying was he knows that Gloria had just been to the dentist and the dental hygienist said, hey, there's something going on up here on your on the gum line. And the metal plate that had been put in her face after she fell was starting to come through. And she had just found out that she needs to have it surgically removed. So this was Dakota saying, I know all about what's going on in your mouth, showing me the chewing motion, and that something needs to be removed. And then he gave some beautiful messages about how, Mom, it's going to be a little bit of a rough recovery, maybe a little more pain than you're aware, but that's okay. Because he said, I'm going to be lying there beside you in bed while you take it easy on yourself, treat yourself nicely, and I'll be right there to comfort you. Just stunning, and I hope it gives you the same goosebumps that I continue to get as I share this with you to show that Dakota knows what's going on with his mom. She said it was a bit of a shock to her to realize that she needs surgery, but that her son across the veil knows all about it. So that was just one of several. I'm going to share two more moments that thank you, Jim and Gloria, they've allowed me to share with you. The second one that was really cool was when he confirmed to his dad and mom, I know you talk to me all the time, keep it up. And that's good advice for all of us because they absolutely hear you. And here's evidence. He said, but Dad, it's even louder to me when you talk out loud. You don't have to talk out loud, everybody, because they sense your feelings. They hear you telepathically. But he said to his dad, just like this, Dad, don't become that crazy person that talks out loud in the grocery store to me. And Jim started laughing because are you ready for this? I think it was the day before, he was in the grocery store shopping for this rice pilaf that Dakota used to like and spoke out loud in the grocery store to Dakota, like, hey, bud, which one do we choose? You want this one? I mean, Dakota has shown from the beginning that he has a great sense of humor, loves a good joke. And so I have learned as a medium that many times what comes out of my mouth is not just an analogy just for no reason at all. It's because it's meaningful. And in this case, hey, Dad, don't become the crazy person that talks out loud in the grocery store to me. It's exactly what Jim had done talking to his son. So don't think your loved ones who have passed are left behind. They move on with you even in the grocery store. They see what you're doing. And they certainly don't miss big events like weddings and graduations and birth of a child in the family. All of those things they're present for, and the most mundane things. The third point that I want to share with you that came up in that beautiful reunion with Dakota, he's saying right now, it's not really a reunion. It was just a greater awareness that I'm with you. That's what he says. So the reunion is not necessary because their presence is ongoing. But this third piece, if you'll let me, Dakota, is when he showed me very clearly someone playing pool, and I knew it was a current event. I wasn't aware of Jim and Gloria playing pool. I've been to their house. I know they don't have a pool table. So I said silently to Dakota, who has recently played pool? And I said to Jim and Gloria, he's showing me his best friend, Nolan. Check with Nolan because Jim and Gloria shrugged their shoulders. Clearly, Nolan doesn't have a pool table either because they would have said that right away and validated that. But I knew it because I could feel Dakota so clearly, and he was very clearly showing me what was going on and even brought up Nolan by name. Well, what fun last night to get a text from Jim saying, OMG, we reached out to Nolan, and thank you, Nolan, for agreeing to let me use your name here in this video so everybody knows how real this is. Nolan and his friend were away recently, rented an Airbnb with a pool table 3 days ago, and played pool all night long. Now, why wouldn't his best friend just hang out with him and enjoy watching Nolan having a good time? They're here in the good times, they're here in the bad times, they're here all the time in the realm where there is no time, just being present with us. So I hope that this beautiful story of truth has helped you to know the truth that your soul already knows in your heart. Your loved ones are here. Those that have passed move forward with you. You don't move forward without them. They'll be the first ones to greet you when you pass the veil. But in the meantime, talk to them, whether silently or aloud, but not in a grocery store. And just know that they hear you. And when you can create stillness in your own life, listen, feel them, and hear their words back to you. They don't need words. You know what they're telling you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.